Thank you for joining us here on Republic TV. You're watching the biggest story tonight as we keep our focus in Bengaluru. In fact, that's where all the action is going to be in the next 48 hours. We're counting down to Chandrayaan-3 landing on the moon. And we have a special broadcast in the next half an hour. I'm Niranjan, and here are the headlines. Another milestone as ISRO confirms Chandrayaan-2 orbiter has been established communication with Chandrayaan-3's lander module. ISRO to begin live telecast of landing event 5:20 p.m. onwards on Wednesday. In 47 hours from now, Chandrayaan-3's Vikram lander will be on the lunar surface and will begin exploration. With Russia's Luna 25 crash landing, all eyes now on Chandrayaan-3 landing and its potential experiments on the moon. Top scientists say colony on the moon may be possible in the next 15 to 20 years, with mission Chandrayaan being a stepping stone to Gaganyaan. The nation praying for the success of Chandrayaan-3 as all eyes are on the most critical last 47 hours of the mission.
Program confirmed.
Thank you for staying with us on the biggest non-stop rolling broadcast as we count down to the landing on the moon. Ladies and gentlemen, in about 47 hours from now, Chandrayaan-3's Vikram 3 lander will attempt a soft landing on the lunar South Pole. This morning we had some good news, and here is what it is and the update so far as we count down to the moon landing, and all eyes are on ISRO and the final stage. Last 47 hours to go. Here's the story so far, where we stand in our space journey as of this evening.
1-0.
As India gears up to touch the lunar surface, it's truly been a journey that spans space and time.
We have a majestic liftoff of LBM-3 M4 rocket carrying India's prestigious Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft.
P2 tracking.
A journey that started with the Indian National Committee for Space Research in 1962. A space journey that has always been rooted in nation building.
We have a constant endeavor in the years to come to provide the peaceful uses of outer space for the real problems of this nation.
A space journey with humble beginnings in 1963, when in Tumba, scientists carried rockets on bicycles. A journey that saw India herald an era of satellite launch capacity in 1980. A journey that witnessed the first Indian going to space in 1984.
ऊपर से भारत कैसा दिखता है आपको?
जी मैं बगैर किसी झिझक के कह सकता हूँ कि सारे जहां से अच्छा.
A journey that saw India undertake its first deep space mission with Chandrayaan-1.
It's really a historic moment for ISRO. We have opened a new chapter in the history of Indian space program.
Carrying Chandrayaan-1 satellite lifted off.
A journey where India's space prowess was met with many detractors.
As soon as the PSLV rocket successfully injected the
But India proved its mettle when it entered the Mars orbit in September 2014.
It was celebrations all over.
India has successfully reached Mars. आप सबको बधाई, देशवासियों को बधाई.
5, 4, 3.
India has shattered records by launching 104 satellites in a single mission in 2017.
4, 5, 6.
A journey that has meant heartbreak on occasion.
Less than seconds.
Perfect liftoff as usual for PSLV. You can see.
आने वाले मिशंस के लिए माननीय प्रधानमंत्री ने सभी को शुभकामनाएं भी दी. इंडियन स्पेस रिसर्च ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के चेयरमैन डॉक्टर के सिवन को गले लगाते हुए, पीठ थपथपाते हुए, हौसला बंधाते हुए माननीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी.
But our brightest minds persevered on.
इससे हमारा हौसला कमजोर नहीं पड़ा है, बल्कि और मजबूत हुआ है. आज हमारे रास्ते में भले ही एक आखिरी कदम पर रुकावट आई हो, लेकिन इससे हम अपनी मंजिल के रास्ते से डिगे नहीं हैं. That when it comes to our space program, the best is yet to come.
A successful touchdown on the moon carries with it 6 decades of Indian space history. And it's fueled by a billion cheering on Chandrayaan-3. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Important tests and years.
Did you know that the Pragyan rover that will emerge from the belly of the Vikram lander has a mass of 26 kg and is about as large as a medium-sized suitcase? It contains 2 scientific payloads that will allow a spectroscopic study of the composition of the lunar surface and a solar panel to power it along. It has a mission time of 1 lunar day or 2 Earth weeks and can communicate only with the lander module.
And joining us on the live broadcast are Devadatta Mishra, who's a former scientist at ISRO, former senior scientist, now co-founder of Croatia Space, and Professor Selvamurthy, former DG DRDO, joining us on the broadcast, along with Srijan Pal Singh, founder Kalam Center and CEO Homi Baba. He's also a senior scientist. Okay, so let me start with Devadatta Mishra. Mr. Mishra, if you look at the update today of the contact that's established between the Chandrayaan-2 orbiter and the Chandrayaan-3 lander module. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about the significance of this first step before we get into Chandrayaan-3 and what we expect in the next 48 hours?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Ranjan. Good evening to all of you, and best wishes from Erisa Space. We hope this time definitely it will be successful. And last time we learned a lot because that time also I was there in the mission control room in ISTRAC, Bangalore, when the landing was happening. And unfortunately, in the last minute, we lost the contact. So communication is a very important factor, be it between the lander and the orbiter, or be it within 2 human beings. You know, any miss of communication can create a lot of confusion, and eventually it may jeopardize all the things. And it's a good news that both the hardware are able to interact each other, and eventually through the orbiter, which is already orbiting since Chandrayaan-2 mission, they are transferring the knowledge, transmitting the updated information to the ground control center at ISTRAC, ISRO Satellite Telemetry and Tracking Center, which is established, situated in Pinia, Bangalore. So this is one of the major center of ISRO, which handles these interplanetary missions, be it Chandrayaan or Mars mission. Also, we have a very deep space antenna in Bayalu. It is outskirts of Bangalore. That also takes the information to the telemetry telecommand. So, of course, is a very important achievement when this communication has happened. It's really a matter of excitement with the space community, not only in India, even all the world. Around the world, the complete global community is watching very curiously and fingers crossed. And Chandrayaan-3 is carrying, I think, a global wish to fulfill the entire civilization dream to land after the Apollo mission and after the last mission by China successfully, which was conducted. This will be, I think, the latest and this carrying our whole India best wishes with it. Once it will land on moon, definitely it will put the tricolor flag in the higher respect around the globe. So that is the best wishes I think I can give now, and I think all our country people, they are also blessing it. They are wishing it.
Yes. And I mean, it's fantastic to know that you were inside Strack when it happened, and of course those were very, very tense moments. We remember we were also live and broadcasting during Chandrayaan-2 here on Republic TV. We had a 100-hour sort of a build-up, and we've been we've tracked every moment of India's moon mission, right? And let me now take the question to Professor Selvamurthy. Professor Selvamurthy, coming on the back of what happened to Luna 25 and the complex, procedure that's involved, as Mr. Mishra mentioned, of the process of landing. Can you explain it in layman's terms for our viewers about how complex is this, and how this lander will touch down on the moon eventually in about 45 hours from now?
Today, two important things happened. The first thing is the communication between the lander and the orbiter of Chandrayaan-2 and the lander of Chandrayaan-3. This is very important for the whole mission, because now we would have the communication not only from lander to the ground station, but also you have another redundancy, which is the orbiter. So this is one important thing which happened today. The second important thing which happened is to have the pictures. That means all the payloads, particularly the cameras, which are attached to the lander, is functioning very well. The images, the resolution, and the craters which we could see. So these are all very, very important indication that things are going very well in the mission as has been planned. And we are very confident. Our confidence level with regard to the historic moment which Indian Space Research Organization will be giving to our country and to the whole globe for the space scientists is very nearing close to the reality. Now coming to the lander and how do we land? See, there are three types of landing. The first is soft landing, the other one is hard landing, third one is crash landing. So when you talk of the landing, what we did in Chandrayaan-2 is actually the hard landing. We couldn't control the velocity, and then it had to go very hard and hit, but still it is there. The actual lander is there. But then it was not completely smashed. It was the attitude as well as the damage it has been done, that caused the mission as a hard landing mission rather than soft landing. Then you have a crash landing. What Luna 25 you saw today, it actually crashed like a lunar probe into the surface. So it was a crash landing. So you had the hard landing in Chandrayaan-2, and you have the Luna 25, which is crash landing. Now, we are going to do in Chandrayaan mission the soft landing. In the soft landing, the challenges, there are many. The first will be the velocity, controlling the velocity of a body which is moving at 6,000 kilometers per hour. And you need to reduce the velocity, and the lander is being also pulled by the gravitational force of the lunar surface, the moon. So that will be pulling it, and then the lander itself is moving with a very high velocity. So now the complexity is how do we optimize, regulate the speed in such a way it is brought down from 6,000 km per hour to 0. So this has to be done in a very precise way. The braking, it happens at 2 levels, the coarse braking and the finer braking. So these are critical phases. Because by that time the lander would be on an auto mode, because there is no communication coming from ground station or any other command. It has to do everything on its own, looking at the hazards available to the cameras, to the various sensors, deciding where to land. All this will happen in milliseconds and seconds. So that is why the lander, what is the velocity control, and then after having landed, it has to perform many tasks. It has to do many scientific endeavors. So the rover has to come out safely out of the lander, and then it has to be there. The energy has to be there for at least for 1 lunar day. And then it has to do many, many important complex tasks, which will be very valuable to get the scientific data and send it to us. With regard to the habitability of the moon, in the southern part, what is the elemental, chemical, atmospheric, all that. So this is very important mission. So we hope that soft landing will happen with all the precision, reliability which ISRO has credentials. It will happen.